Hey man, can you help me? I got just caught my damn tongue. You see it? Oh man, it hurts so. Oh, can you?
What the hell are you doing?
No,
Yo,
just,
man.
what? Can you help me?
No.
Come on, man. It's just a.
Oh.
Dude, isn't that great?
On,
No, it's just a regular piece of just look. It's a piece of just tongue.
Wow.
Check it out. You can even have it. You can buy them at like a regular store. It's unbelievable, right? Isn't that cool?
That's
Do you like magic?
Yeah.
Yes? You want to see a trick?
I ain't got a lot of time.
Okay, here, let's do something here. Let's do this. Here, let's put this over here. And I'm a magician, so I do like different tricks. And so, you remember that trick where magicians do this thing where they, here, let me see if I can find something. Here, can I bore this? I promise to give it back, dude. It's one of these fluffy balls. It's these cheesy little fluffy balls. So if a magician does this, now watch. If I take this, place it in my hand, right? Disappears, goes back to my pocket. Check that right here. Goes right back to, boom, my pocket. Cool, right? So here, if I go like this and clean it off, all right, and squeeze it, all right? Pull that side of the ball for me. Just pull it. Boom! See? Two balls, eh? We all need those, right? So check this out. Go like this, disappears, bam, goes right back to my pocket. Check this out, watch. Just like that. Wow. So here, let me do something. So which one do you, I know you don't have much time, but which one do you want me to use?
No, do that one.
This one. We're gonna take this and open up your hand for me. Squeeze it super tight, all right? Don't open it, all right? Got it? And then this one, I'm actually gonna just disappear and put it right in the air right there. See that? And it's right there. Do you believe that? Do you believe in magic? Now don't open up your hand yet. Now watch very carefully, all right? Now watch. If we do this, watch. Boom, open up your hands, open up your hands. 2 balls, yeah, baby! You have a good day, all right, buddy? You have a good one. You are awesome, dude. You're amazing. I can't let you hang there. Hang on. Here, hang on, wait. Let me use this piece of paper. Hang on. Here. Let's just do this.
Are these my handcuffs?
Yeah, they're your handcuffs. Check that. What? No. Here. Check this out. Watch this. Look at this. And those are your keys right there, too, baby. Have a good day. Sorry to bother you. You can keep my balls.
Joining me is Magic Murray. He is a celebrity magician. He is an actor. He's an interviewer, and he rescues dogs. Welcome to the show, Magic Murray.
Good. Got my little friend here, Oscar. Check him out.
Oh, he's cute.
He's brand new. He's 16 weeks old, and he's a Pomeranian. And he's not ours. We're actually babysitting today for a friend of my fiance. They got engaged about a week ago, and anyways, we're babysitting for one of our girlfriends for the day. So we have now 4 dogs in the house.
I saw him. And what's his name or her name?
This is Smudge, and all the dogs I have, and Danny has are girls. So this is Smudge, and then we have Bailey, and then Kahlua, and we have a cat as well. So we're up here. So.
Oh my goodness! Well, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And how are you?
Good, really good. You know, I'm enjoying my day. Today's Sunday here in Vegas, so we'll go coffee and read the newspaper, and gonna work on a few projects today, but gonna kind of keep it low key, you know. So we're in the backyard here in my home. So.
That's great. And so how is everything going for you in the entertainment world as a magician and actor, interviewer, and
real good, you know. I just been trying to keep myself relevant, you know, and because I have such a YouTube following and Facebook and TikTok and all that, when everything started to happen 5 months ago, we just switched everything to online. And then also I started picking up a lot more TV shows because that's all we could do. And then in about 2 or 3 weeks, we've heard that Vegas just might be opening. It is. There's shows this week, so we heard news that hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll hopefully have my show up at the Tropicana, and then another show that I'm in called Fantasy at the Luxor, which I do a guest spot in, and that should be opening up in a few weeks as well. So Vegas is coming back around, so that's all good news.
yeah, so you're doing as much as you can during the pandemic and online. Do you think it's helped you to be more creative?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm always been a person that it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it, you know. That's just the way I am, because everything in life, you have your good days, bad days, and things like that. So it's not, once again, it's not what happens to you is how you react to it, and that's the power you kind of have. So I've always looked at life that way. So yeah, I mean, me and Danny, my fiance, we just started a landscaping company about 3-4 months ago called Dirt to Dreams, because we love landscaping. We've done it for years in our own homes, and we thought, well, why not start a company on the side that we can keep going for years, just because we have time, you know. So we're really enjoying that as well.
Yes, and how are you staying fit? I mean, you started ballet when you were young, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I danced for years. You know, I danced since I was 5 years old, and then around 16, I quit. You know, I played musical instruments as well, but then I got into magic, and I really enjoyed that. And I can only do so much. I didn't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know, so I wanted to hone in on something. So I got a degree in broadcast and television, and then of course I went into magic full time in my teens, and I've been doing it ever since. So and stay in shape too. I work out 2, 3, 4 times a week. And it helps when you have a showgirl as your partner as well to keep you in shape and healthy, because you want to keep up with the Joneses, you know. So.
Yes. Well, do you cook together? And
Yeah, we love to cook. You know, we don't cook a lot. I like to barbecue more than cook. I can cook, but I cook to survive. I don't cook to really get into it. She really enjoys cooking, but I can cook anything. It's pretty much what I'm going to cook is nothing fancy, you know. I can cook chicken, steak, and make salads and all that, but I don't get over the top crazy with it. You know, I like food, but I don't love food. Food is more of a means to existing for me. Just the way I look at it. I'll never be a Gordon Ramsay, you know, or an Emerald Lagasse, you know, but yeah, I can cook.
And I mean, do you run and weightlift, or
No, I can't stand running. I never could run. The only time I run is when I'm being chased, but no, at the gym I just go work out, do a 45-minute to an hour workout, and that's it. I can't even stand the gym. I just like the results, you know, and I want to stay in shape. It's like I don't really like brushing my teeth either, but I want my teeth, so I brush my teeth as well, you know. But I think it's been a part of my life since I was 19 when I was a lifeguard, and staying in shape and all that. So I just adapted into my lifestyle as a thing that you kind of have to do. You know, and that's kind of, I think it's important. I think health is a conscious decision. It just doesn't happen naturally for many. And I think if you want to be in shape, we all have our weaknesses, you know, whether it be food or whatever it might be, candies, chocolates. But if you can kind of curb all that to whatever your desires are, you can really be healthy and in shape. It's just something you really got to consciously do. You know, don't hit the McDonald's every day, you know, or anytime.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, going back to ballet, it takes discipline, right? And do you think it's helped you in being so successful in what you do? Because you're a multi-talented individual.
Well, yeah, I've always said this to people. I said, I think every entertainer, everybody, I don't care if you're an entertainer, should take ballet. And the reason, my mentor growing up was Fred Astaire, and he trained ballet, and then he was a great tap dancer and a showman. But you really never saw him dance ballet. But him and his sister started out that way. And the greatest thing about ballet is it gives you posture. And posture, I think, is everything. When you walk into a meeting to get a job, when you walk into a room to greet people, all that stuff. People judge. We're humans. People say they don't judge. Well, I think they're lying. We all do. And I think when you walk in a room standing straight and being strong as a woman or a man, I think goes a long way, along with a strong handshake and being pleasant. And ballet teaches you that, teaches you posture, teaches you how to walk, and it's disciplined as well. And people laugh at it. Even guys go, I'm not taking ballet, I'm a man. Well, that's lovely, but nothing's worse than seeing somebody who's gorgeous or beautiful or whatever the case is walk into a room or just stand at parties, and I see it all the time, and they slouch their shoulders, and it just makes them so unattractive and even unhealthy looking when they could be really healthy. You know, posture has a lot to do with getting a job or being successful, you know. So I think it really has a lot it really helps a lot that it hinders it, you know.
Interesting. It helps with your breathing too, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Absolutely.
All that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So you're introduced, or I should ask you, when was there a pivotal moment that you wanted to be a musician? At what age?
Maybe when I was 7, you know, I saw David Copperfield vanish the Statue of Liberty. And at that time, he was the most popular magician. You know, he still is pretty much. And I knew he didn't have a power, but I was just fascinated by what he could do and create. in real time. And I thought, that's pretty cool. And so I got a magic kit like every kid does when they're, a kid. Like, I guess girls get Barbie dolls and makeup, and I don't know, they get all sorts of those kind of things. And men get like toolboxes and a racetrack, and I guess a magic kit. So that kind of stuck with me, with the magic kit thing. And I kept doing it, and then I realized I could make money off it, and I thought, well, let me do kids' birthday parties at $50 for half an hour, and I'll put a little ad up in the rec centers, where you go and you put a little tack board, put your phone number, and you say magic shows, $50 or whatever I was charging, and I started getting calls, 2 to 5 a weekend. And my dad would drive me around, or my mom, to the shows, and because I wasn't old enough to drive with my magic kit and all that, and that's kind of how I started making money on my own.
That's great. And they were very supportive, right?
Very supportive, yeah. I don't think they realized I was going to take it as a career, because Dad always wanted me to get a real job. And I think that's the reason I went in and I got a degree in radio, television, and broadcasting, just to have something as a real thing, and a minor in marketing. But I hung that on the wall, and I still use all that stuff now in my life today as an entertainer. But once again, I kind of was on the path to being a magician, and now at this point, you just don't look back; you go with it,
Exactly. And tell us about America's Got Talent. You made a train disappear.
Yeah, it was great. I turned it down for years. For 5 years, they asked me. In 2010, which was the 5th season, they asked me if I wanted to be on. I think, maybe I should try this thing. And then I had a very strict rule on what I wanted to share with them and perform on the show, and that was it. And if they didn't want that, then I wasn't going to do the show. Just the way I felt about it. And so anyways, that's what I ended up doing, and they went with it, and we created some really cool magic for the show. I vanished a train and did a tiger trick and a car appearance and all that stuff, and it was a really good run, and I loved it. It was wonderful for me. And at that time on TV, there was 22 million people watching America's Got Talent, and now it's down to about 8.5 million, which is still a lot of people. But 22 million is massive, and literally overnight people knew who I was. So that was a big turning point for me, with that show.
Wow. And why a train?
Well, because my father and my whole family worked in the railway, for over 150 years. So I wanted something to tie into my past, and my dad wanted me to be in the railway as well, because at the time it was a good job, pension plan, et cetera, which was his world. Back in the day, you worked for General Electric, or you worked for a railway. Things that were the post office. You got a government job that you got a retirement plan, and you weren't the job would never not be there and stuff like that. And I was the only one that didn't go with the railway, but I thought in honor of it, to honor him, I would vanish a steam train, the ones that he worked on as a kid at 18 years old. So I did that. So we did that, and you got to see it in the audience live. It was pretty cool. It was a fun moment for me.
Wow. I mean, there was a lot of prep work involved, right?
Yeah, you have to vanish a train. And don't forget, there's no camera tricks, because we did that in front of a live audience on live TV in real time. You know what I mean? So there was no, on TV you can make anything appear. If you have a pre-tape, you shoot it early, you can edit a lot of things. But with anything about America's Got Talent, you're kind of seeing what you're seeing. You know what I mean? It's when it goes live, and that's it. And so it was a nice moment, and it was great for magicians as well, because they knew I wasn't using camera tricks. They knew it was in real time. So, and you only got one shot to get it right. I'd never done it before either. That's a big item to make vanish in a quick manner. And when I pulled the cloth off, if anyone sees the video, and I look back, I was just as happy to see the train gone as the judges in the audience, because I really wasn't sure if it was gonna work completely. We practiced it, but I'd never done that before, except then, and that was the last time I ever did it. I brought it back home and sold the train to, I think, a football team here in Vegas has it as a mascot. I think they're called the Las Vegas Locomotives, and it's a farm team like for football. And I think it's the end of the goalpost now, painted red, and every time they hit a goal and the goalpost with a football, I think the train goes off blowing steam out of the stack or something. So that was it.
Wow. And tell us about the Pawn Stars as well. Like you do an appearance on there. What's your role, and can you tell our viewers about it?
Yeah, I've been on there for 15 years, you know, or not 15 years, a little less than that, but 15 seasons, because sometimes you do 2 seasons a year. And they're into the 17th season now, and I'm on there as a magic expert. So I've done over 40 episodes. It's in over 150 countries in the world, you know, all sorts of languages, and it's a cool thing. I'm very dear friends with them all. They're real guys. They're really cool. It's a great show, and it's really what it is. They really owned a pawn shop before the show. It wasn't a setup. They're not actors. They're none of this other stuff that a lot of reality shows are, but they really are pawnbrokers, you know, and they're probably the most famous ones in the world now, you know, and they're dear friends of mine, and we're shooting 2 more episodes in a few weeks in November, so it's great, you know, it's a fun show, and it's going to be on the air for a long time, I think, and it's been on the air for a long time already.
Wonderful. And tell us about the script. I mean, how much preparation is involved if you're doing a script, and you know, whether it's a small group or what have you, like how do you prepare?
In what sense? You know, a script for acting or?
A script when you do a comedy routine. Is it like 90 minutes? How does it work?
Yeah, you know, when you have a show, you build. You know, when you're a comedian, you start with 1 joke, then you get to 2 and 3, and if they laugh, that's a win. So now you save it, you know. But, you know, every minute of comedy, sometimes it takes, you know, it could take, you know, a month or 2 to write that and make it work. If you're working, you know, it takes a long time. If you got a 10-minute set or 15-minute set, sometimes that takes 2 or 3 years, you know, to get, if you really want to be a great comic, you know, that 10 or 15 minutes takes years, because it's a lot of work to try to make it funny and how to share it with the audience so they understand the story, you know, because if they don't understand the story, you can't make it funny. You got to put everybody in that scene. If you're talking about camping, well, you got to make sure everyone's along for the ride with the camping trip for you. You can't just say, hey, I'm sitting around the fire roasting a marshmallow. Well, they didn't know we were camping. All of a sudden, you can't jump in with information like that. You have to set the scene. So many people here gone camping. I went camping last week. You know, the tent, the logs, the forest, bears, you know, and now they're there. And now you can, that was the setup. And then you need a middle, you know, and then the punchline, you know, and that's the hardest time, because sometimes you think you have the punchline, and in your head you think it's funny, and then you realize the audience, you lost them half the way there, and therefore it's not funny, you know. And if you really believe in the joke or the concept, then you just keep doing it until you can get that scene set in everyone's head, you know, and get the comedy out of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. So how do you come up with the jokes? Like, how does it, like, from life, or how does...
Yeah, every joke's about life, whether it be on airplanes or sex or relationships or traveling or pets. You know, the more common that you can do things or share stories with, the more audience appeal, you know. If you talk just about, I don't know, if you just talk about, I don't know, knitting, or you talk about building a building as an engineer, well, you know, a lot of people haven't done engineering jobs, so you're going to shorten that audience down. But you talk about drinking water or buying a bottle of water or flying in a plane, well, you're going to have a larger span, because most people have done that. They've drank water, they've flown the plane, or they've dated somebody, or whatever the case is. So you just got to pick your topic sometimes, or your story that people can follow along, that maybe they've been there, so they're already halfway there, you know.
And how does it make you feel when people get your jokes and they're right into it? Like, how it must feel like an incredible feeling. So
yeah, it's wonderful. You know, as an entertainer, it's a drug, the attention and the applause. That's why we do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And do you prefer small audiences or large? Like, or does it matter? Like,
as long as they're there and they want to be entertained. I've performed for 5 people, and I performed for 10,000, you know.
wow.
So it depends on, you know, the audience and if they're into it, you know what I mean? There really isn't any, depending on what environment, you know, comedy clubs are great at 300 seats because they're all there and you can see them. But then you walk into a theater of 5,000 seats, that's lovely as well. You know, it's a different environment, but it's nice. They both work, you know.
Mm-hmm. Murray, what's next for you?
Well, we're going to open Vegas hopefully in 3 or 4 weeks, so we'll go back on the Strip, which is exciting. I've got 2 or 3 TV shows out there being pitched, which I've always got something being out there pitched for TV or the world or whatever, you know. So I'm always writing something, you know. I wrote a children's book during COVID, and now we're in the process of getting it published and getting it illustrated right now. So hopefully next summer we'll have that out, you know. That's kind of the plan, or at least by next fall. It takes a while to put the book together. The publishers, everyone agrees on the same thing, and the way we go, you know, so.
Yeah, well, tell us about the children's book.
Yeah, children's books. It's called At Night We're All the Same Size. It was based on my dog, Bailey, who's a rescue pup, and she's scared because when you're standing there, if she doesn't know you, she gets very scared. She's very friendly with very few people. But if anyone takes care of her and they fall asleep or lie down on the couch, she'll then come up to you and sleep beside you, beside your head, because therefore when you're lying down, she's taller than you. You know, and or the same size because she's looking at you eye to eye. So therefore, you're an equal. And so I wrote the whole book based on that premise of seeing eye to eye. It's a good moral story of even life, looking at people eye to eye. You know, not judging them for who they are, their background, their size, their race, their relation, or whatever it is. But it's a story about animals, a kid's bedtime story about animals of all different sizes and shapes. And it's called At Night Time We're All the Same Size. So.
That's wonderful. And is there anything else you'd like to add, Murray?
No. If there's anything else you'd like to ask me, I'm more than happy to answer. So.
Well, I just think it's incredible what you're doing. You know, I mean, you're so, you know, talented, and what you're doing is, you know, humanitarian, looking after rescue dogs, and I think that's you know, wonderful. And you know, if people want more information, where can they go? Like, look you up?
Yeah, well, you just Google my name, you know, Murray the Magician, or Magic Murray, or Murray Sawchuck, which is my last name. My website's murraymagic.com. You can see all of my videos on YouTube, which is Magic Murray. So it's YouTube Magic Murray. You'll see all my stuff, and everything's family related, and kids can watch it and all that stuff. So I'm always out there. Just Google me and you'll see more than you ever want to see.
Yes, and thank you so much for your time. Appreciate
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on your show, and I hope the rest of the year gets better and better, because 2020 has been definitely up and down.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks again. I appreciate it. Have a good day, all right?
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Bye.
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 Huh? Oh, hey, sir. How you doing?
What do we got going on here?
Oh, I want to go out and walk in the street with my beer, but I don't want to, you know, you can't have this out there, right? Yeah.
This is private property. You can't have that beer here.
Are you serious?
Take this. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to put it here and make it look like apple juice, you know, it's just
You
seriously?
have to do this somewhere else. Yeah.
What if I just put it in the funnel? How about this?
Somebody's got to clean
no,
this
no,
up.
No, just how about if I just do that? See? You know, we'll leave it right there in the air, just like that, huh? Just like magic, huh? Isn't that cool? Isn't that great? If you do this, watch. You snap your fingers, it actually disappears. You know, watch this. Watch. You watching? Check this out. Gone. See? That's it. No beer.
This is a great trick and all, but you can't do this here.
It's magic beer.
I have to go finish my rounds. When I come back through here, I'm gonna need you to have all your stuff and be gone.
Okay. All right, I got it. Sorry, man. Sorry.